What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror and Gore Horror Movie Podcast. Of course, it's your host, Dakota here. Today, I got a very special guest on. He is a legend on TikTok, and he is one of my good friends. And he wants to be your movie guy, by the way, if you guys didn't know. His name is Chuck. What's up, Chuck? How you doing?
I'm good, Dakota. That's a lot of pressure. Very happy to be here to help support you, Dakota, and the Horror and Gore podcast.
So, Chuck, tell everybody where they can find you and a little bit about your guys' podcast.
I'm Chuck. You can find me you could just Google me at Chuck the Movie Guy, and you'll find me on Instagram, TikTok. Also one quarter of the Dark Screen Society, which I feel is the best horror podcast in the world, with Gigi, Brian, and Seth. And you can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, anywhere. You can find it anywhere. We're everywhere.
So before we get into the episode, I wanted to ask you, how did you get into horror?
How did I get into horror?
Yeah.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man. I grew up in a good home, and I think my parents did their best to raise me the best way that they can. Like, I never really needed for anything, but my mom was psychologically demanding person upon our kids, and I learned about horror because when I was bad with my sister, when I was like 8 years old, 10 years old, we were terrified of Poltergeist, and she used to put Poltergeist on when we were bad, and we would like go to bed and shit because we were fucking scared of that fucking clown. So I was like kind of tortured by horror when I was a kid. But the older that I got, that feeling of that fear that I had is what made me go back to chase it, to like conquer my fear. And it started real early for me. I'm talking 10, 11, 12. I was Fangoria magazine trying to get back behind the curtain at fucking the mom and pop video shops, watching a whole lot of shit that I shouldn't watch at that age. But I just, horror got its claws in me, there was no turning back for me.
Oh. Because like I used to watch some horror when I was like younger, but I didn't get like really into it till like I was in my 20s, like early
Right.
20s. Like I like the Halloween movies and stuff, so I don't know if it's just like I just like said fuck it and let's just go for it.
I'm just attracted to it because it was something that I wasn't supposed to watch, and I've always been that. I have that type of personality. Like, even when I watched, Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam, I always wanted Yosemite Sam to shoot the rabbit. Because I've always rooted for the bad guys. So like there was just a natural attraction to horror because my parents would take me to video stores and stuff, and you would see that's back when you would rent things because it had a cool fucking poster. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you watch something, not because you've seen a video or heard about it. Like, because there was no fucking internet. You know what I mean? Like, you've seen a cool ass poster. And it's like, I'm going to watch this shit. You know what I mean? Like the Reanimator poster and all that neon green. And it was just like, it was saying, hey, little kid, watch me. You know what I mean? And like, that's what I did. So that's how I got. So that's it.
Because like you know that like I'm young, a lot younger than most of you guys on Horror Talk.
How old are you, Dakota?
25.
25. Okay, go ahead.
So my local grocery store had like a movie rental thing, kind of like Blockbuster in them, but they always had like movie posters hanging up.
Right.
And the two posters that really got me attracted to me, which one I didn't like watch till like so many years later, and that was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I seen that poster of Michael like raising the knife to stab somebody in that film. Just like a little bit traumatized me, but it was like an awe. And the other one is a movie I actually rented and watched. That was the Nightmare on Elm Street remake from 2010.
Okay, cool.
So when I hear you guys say like you guys always like looked at the cover posters and stuff for movies, that's why I kind of thought of like when I was younger. Right. But I wish I had I wish kids now and like the younger generation had that feeling of going to a movie store and picking like a movie and stuff, instead going on here and just pressing play on something.
I mean, those days are gone, man. Like the tangible aspect of the selection of things is they'll never understand because everything now is just so streamlined and easy access that like that's why there's a lot of horror movies that like come out that people aren't going to appreciate. Let's take Long Legs, for example. So Long Legs came out and had all this fucking hype around it, right? So they're just hype and hype and hype and hype and hype. So people went into it with this hype machine. So a lot of people were let down because it didn't live up to this, massive created hype. If that would have been a movie that there would have been no hype around, that somebody would have just stumbled on or seen it on Prime or picked up a video and rented it, I guarantee the outcome would be different. But it's something that like in 15 years that I think people are going to look back and they're going to appreciate a lot more for what it is. But you didn't have that back in the video store day or anything. Like you might have seen like for a movie to get written up in Fangoria or, one of the publications back at that time and have and it would just be like a little snippet that says, Tom Savini's working on this movie and it has practical effects or blah, 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 whatever. That's all the hype you got. You know what I mean? Like everything back then was, super word of mouth, or you had to like believe in the person that was working. That's why Blockbuster wasn't as good as your mom and pop shop, because the dude at the mom and pop shop was fucking burning doobs and drinking beers and watching all the fucking movies. So when you pick something up, he could tell you about it, or hey, there's titties in this one, you want to grab this one, or whatever it is, you know what I mean, that would make you want to watch that fucking movie. You know what I mean? So there's just a different era. So you just got to adapt and keep it moving.
Hopefully by the time, I'm just hoping it stays streaming by the time like I get around like maybe 40s and like I have kids and stuff around my age. I just don't want it to be like something like kind of like theaters. I don't want theaters to die. I just don't want to be sitting at home all the time and watching a new movie.
I don't think theaters are going to die per se. Like I think there's always going to be a love from film people to go see theaters. But me personally, like I love to go to the theater, but if a movie came out on Friday, like this Friday when like on the 17th when Wolfman comes out, like if I could pay $25 and just watch it at home, I would do that before I would drive to the theater. And now if it was like Nosferatu, I'm going to the theater because that's something you should see in the theater. You know what I mean? Like, so I like kind of having that option. So it's a little like I'm in the middle on that really, like, but I'm also in the middle on physical media and digital. Like I know I don't own my digital library and all that. Like I get all that. And I think it's a very valid point. But the convenience of just like, oh, damn, I want to watch this. Like, I don't got to order it from Amazon. It don't got to show up. I don't got to do nothing. I could just press play and fucking watch it. And like, I love that access. But I come from this world of instant gratification and I need it now and you get it now. You know what I mean? And like, until you want to watch something really obscure and you can't fucking find it, you know what I mean? Then you have an issue.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. So let's get into our episode. So Chuck, what have you watched this week?
So what did I watch this week, Dakota? Oh, I watched a short film called Good Hands. It was actually made in 2014 and there's a lot of lore behind it because it's a short film that actually premiered at a film festival against Kaya Cassis's short film. And Kaya Cassis was the person that directed The Coffee Table. So this guy thinks that he got that idea from him from this short film. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I loved it. Like I loved it because it is 10 seconds in. It's just balls to the wall, batshit crazy. And then I also watched a drama called I Feel Fine, which I'm really glad that I watched, but it was a difficult watch because it was about this young kid named Ozzy who has a seemingly perfect life. And he has a very rare suicidal OCD condition where he has intrusive thoughts. And even though nothing's wrong, he wants to take his life. And it was a very moving and powerful drama that I think people should pay attention to because it has a very good message about mental health, how it's misread and how it's not treated well in our, society.
Okay. So I watched 3 movies this week.
Mm-hmm.
I watched American Psycho for the first time. I really love that movie.
It's
It's
good.
so good. Then I watched Hot Take. This is my favorite vampire movie of all time now. 30 Days of Night.
Oh, it rips.
Then after that I watched Den of Thieves. Preparing for Den of Thieves 2.
I love the first Den of Thieves. Did you? So you 30 Days of Night. What you seen? You like it better than the Lost Boys, or you haven't seen it?
I like it better than Lost Boys.
I
Lost
like
Boys
it.
is top 3 though.
Have you seen Near Dark?
No, I'm trying to find that.
It's
Oh,
streaming somewhere.
oh yes.
Yeah,
I really want to try to find that.
It's 100% streaming. I know it is. Because I just did a video about it. I think you'll really like it, especially if you like 30 Days of Night.
Because
it's somewhere. I'll find it for you.
Okay. But with that being said, let's get into our main topic of the episode. So our main topic this week is our top 15 most anticipated horror movies of 2025. So this is going to be a little bit different. I would say we're just going to spit out 15 movies that we're looking forward to this year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got any more, I might put some more in there than 15. So we can do that. But
15's a lot.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
So Chuck, what is your first movie you're looking forward to in 2025 for horror?
The one I want to see the most out of anything is The Carpenter's Son. And The Carpenter's Son is a film that is about a boy known only as the boy is driven to doubt by another mysterious child and rebels against his guardian, the carpenter, revealing inherent powers and fate beyond his comprehension. It is a horror movie based on Jesus starring Nicolas Cage, and that's enough for me. I'm all in. Can't wait to see it because it's going to be batshit crazy.
Okay, I'm on board now. I hear a horror movie, Nicolas Cage. I'm all in.
Jesus. Sold.
And yes.
Yeah, some sacrilegious madness. Give it to me. I want it.
Do you know if that has a release date yet?
It does
or is
not.
It still up in there?
It does not. I don't think anything that I'm going to give you maybe has a release date.
Okay. So my most anticipated of 2025 for horror-wise, just to get out of the way, is Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh, okay. I know a couple people that have seen it.
So I've only seen parts of 5, but...
Wait, you haven't seen the other ones?
No, but the concept of this one is what drags me into it. Of someone's a rumor around the thing is like someone's grandma does something, like fakes death, and it just goes down the line of like death not only kills her, but kills the rest of the line of her family members also. And that's very curious because it's not the Final Destination.
That's what they all do.
Oh, is that what they all do?
I would highly recommend that you start at number 1 and watch them all the way up, because this one's going to, and I know specifically because I know a couple people that have seen it, it ties everything together from all of them. So it's going to be beneficial for you to go through 1 through where you're at. Plus they're good as hell. And they're fun as hell to watch. You know what I mean? And if you really like the last one, the other ones are significantly better than that one. You'll love them. If you love that one, you'll love them, Dakota. So I see this is going to be educational as well, which is cool. Next for me is I'm going to go, which I just talked to these people and I was really excited about it. There's a film coming out, and this comes out in February, and it's called The Fetus. And The Fetus is starring Lauren Lavera and Bill Moseley, and it's about a couple that struggle to learn the truth about the origins of their unborn child, a demonic entity that emerges from the body. Dead baby, demons, Bill Moseley, Lauren Lavera, sign me up.
This has been on my radar. I found this a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And once I saw Lauren Lavera and Bill Moseley's in it, I'm like, I'm on board with this.
Oh, sold. Yeah, 100%. No problem.
So my next one, I'm going to go to the very bottom of my list because you have been marketing the hell out of this movie in the past year. And that's
1976.
1976. It reminds me of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre a little bit, and I love the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I haven't seen it yet. I've seen pieces of it, and I'm really, really excited about it. But I don't know who's going to hear this and fuck them anyway. But they're releasing 3 of them this year because Brute
hell yeah,
Brute 1976 is done. Brute 1986 is finished, and Brute 1996 is filming. So there's a lot coming from that world.
Okay,
Which is
because
cool.
I know who's the director? Marcel Waltz,
Marcel
right?
Waltz, yeah, he's a real nice guy.
It's his other movie. What was it called?
They're having a hard time. The religious one,
Yeah,
Garden of Eden. They're
yeah,
having a
that's the one.
really, really hard time finding somebody to distribute it because it's
Okay,
apparently like I do know somebody. Well, and they're like a director producer that have like people that have seen it, and it's apparently like really fucked up. Like it's like fucked up to the point that they're having a hard time finding somebody that's going to put it out. So I'm real interested in that one too. But yeah, he's got an eye for some pretty ingenious stuff. So my next one, and this one is this could even be my number one, but I have a couple of them that could be my number one. This is starring Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac, and I love both of them, especially Oscar Isaac. But this is also directed by the director of Mandy, Panos Cosmatos, which is another attraction, but it's called Flesh of the Gods, and it's about a married couple, Raul and Alex, and they descend each evening from their luxury skyscraper condo to venture into the electric nighttime realm of the 1980s Los Angeles. When they cross paths with a mysterious and enigmatic woman known only as Nameless, and she and her hard-parting cabal initiate Raul and Alex into a glamorous, surrealistic world of hedonism, thrills, and violence. All in.
Ooh, that sounds so good. I like Mandy. Mandy is really good.
I like Mandy a lot.
So, another one I'm looking forward to. I'm just gonna put this out there. Is
Yeah.
Until Dawn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
you like
I haven't
the
played
game?
so this is why I'm going to go with. I haven't played the game, but I've seen parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really going to play the game because of the news they just released that like their Sony Con of like the game and the movies in the same universe.
Yeah, for anybody out there that doesn't know, Until Dawn is based upon a video game, and it's about a group of friends who encounter a variety of terrifying threats in this new story set in the same world as the 2015 video game of the same name. And the video game, I can confirm, absolutely fucking rips.
I'm definitely going to play that video game before this movie releases, though.
I would highly suggest that you do that. 100%. I want to see this one real bad, too. This movie is called Dust Bunny, and is it on your list?
No, it's not on my list.
Dust Bunny is directed by Brian Fuller, and it's about an 8-year-old girl who asks her scheming neighbor for help in killing the monster under her bed that she thinks ate her family. And this stars Sigourney Weaver, Mads Mikkelsen, David Dalsmalchian, and I've seen a couple little clips of it, but it looks fucking wild. All in.
Oh, I'm all in with that cast. Who's directing it?
Dust Bunny is being directed by let me click him. There it goes. Brian Fuller, who did the remake of Christine, and he did another movie. He's a new guy.
Okay.
So, but that's a hell of a cast. So I think somebody has faith in him for what he's making because that's a pretty stacked cast.
The next one I'm gonna pick is based off a book, and I read this book last year, and I'm looking forward to this movie. It's Clown in the Cornfield.
Clown in a Cornfield. For everybody that don't know, Clown in a Cornfield is directed by Eli Craig. It's based off a book of the same name. And Quinn Maybrook just wants to make it to graduation. She might not make it to the morning, but after moving to the fading Midwestern town of Kettle Springs, Missouri, a teenage girl and her new group of friends find themselves the targets of the city's mascot, a clown who goes on a murderous rampage. It's all newcomers in this movie. Nobody that rings a bell that I know. But I heard the thing is really good.
The two things that I really like about this movie, one, if this movie goes as brutal as the book does, I think it's going to be really good. And two, this movie is going to be released by, I think, probably one of the like best horror streaming services right now, up and coming, because they had a lot of great bangers last year, and that's Shudder.
Did it get picked up by Shudder?
Yeah, that and the one that I forgot, it's RFC, I think, or RFE.
RLJE?
Yeah, they picked up. So
RLJE Pictures picked up. So yeah, it'll come out through IFC or Shudder.
So you know how they normally do like limited releases with these movies?
No, I think that's getting a wide release.
Yeah, this one's actually the first one I know that's gonna get.
Yeah, because the book was really, really big.
So I'm really excited for this one, and I just want to go as hard as the book does.
I hope so, but I don't know. I never read the book. So I don't know. Maybe I'll read the book, but I've never read the book. But I'm interested. Drop 2025, directed by Christopher Landon. Everyone's a suspect. A widowed mother on her first date in years who arrives at an upscale restaurant where she is relieved that her date, Henry, is more charming and handsome than she expected, but their chemistry begins to curdle as Violet begins being irritated and threatens. Then gets threatened by a series of anonymous drops to her phone. So this one is done like the little bits I've seen of it, it's done like missing and searching, like, so it's like all like an internet, like, or like host, so it's like all done on like computer screens and shit, but like through phones, and I thought it looked pretty cool.
I'm excited for this one. This is not in my like 15 that I want to see this year. It's like probably 16 or 17, but it's Blumhouse. I like some of the Blumhouse's stuff that they release, but it's Christopher Landon that's directing this. So I am on board on this for this movie.
Yeah, I'm interested. It's one of them ones that could go either way, Dakota. You know what I mean? Like, it might be good, it might not be good. What do you got next up?
So I'm gonna go with Him. The synopsis of this is a bone-chilling journey into the inner sanctum of fame, power, and pursuit of excellence at any cost. So it's like kind of like a horror football film. And this is going to be produced by Jordan Peele.
What's it called?
Him.
Just Him.
Just Him.
Interesting. I haven't even heard of that yet. That's not on my radar, so I'm going to put it on my list to look it up and check it out. Him. I'm trying to find it on my list, but I don't see it. So now we're going to get into the deep dive of like weird stuff that I want to see. That's not, because I didn't put anything on my list that's like super big shit. Like, I didn't put the Wolfman on there or the Monkey. I'm not even that excited to see the Monkey. I do want to see it though. There's a movie coming out called All This Time, and it's directed by Rob Worsey, who I have no idea who that is, but it has Emily Rose Holt in it, and it's about trapped inside a gothic mansion in an endless time loop. I love time loop movies. Grace must unlock the secrets of her house and the enigmatic owner in the previous night's party and find hope escaping and returning to her normal life as a young child. It looks like a very traumatizing haunted house type kind of movie, and I like shit like that.
Ooh. That does sound interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So one, I just start off, it's not on my list, but I'm going to put it out there. It's Hell House Lineage.
Oh, yeah. I definitely want to see Hell House Lineage. And it's coming to the theater, so that's good too. But it's not found footage, correct?
Yeah, I know it's not found footage.
Yeah, they're going like the regular way with it, which I think is actually really cool that they're doing that, because it's a little played out.
It's going to be a little bit interesting how Stephen Carnetti can actually turn like this franchise from found footage into just like a normal like horror movie.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I think that's the best way to go. Like, I don't know what's left for them to do that would be found footage. You know what I mean? Because it's like, 1 was really good, 2 was pretty good, 3 was and then I really liked the last one a lot. But it's like, what are they going to make 100 Insidious movies that are all the same way? You know what I mean? Like, you got to try to do something different. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully, anyway. I mean, yeah, because I like different. Like, I hope we get a lot of like really super and like stuff like 28 years later. Like, that's obviously on my list, and I really want to see it. Then, Saw 11, I really want to see that. Another one that I want to see really bad, which I've been, obviously prompting it up and promoting it as much as I possibly could with Brute 1976, and that's Devour. And Devour is directed by Scott Hansen, and it focuses on this rock group called the Virginia Bitches, and they get stuck in this world that's like between the real world and hell, that is filled with vampires, demons, werewolves, and it's run by this fucking cult, and they have to like battle their way out of it. But it's apparently supposed to be balls to the wall fucking madness, and I want to see it very bad.
That has been on my hype list for long because I thought it was going to be released like late last year.
They were really trying to, and then whenever they had to go back and do the crowdfunding and everything, they got more money than they thought that they were going to get, so they reshot a bunch of shit.
Okay, because I love Bad Candy. Bad Candy is so good.
I love Bad Candy as well. I like Bad Candy as much as I like Trick or Treat.
Yeah, that's up there with me also. I think it's Trick or Treat, then like Bad Candy, but they're like neck and neck with each other.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with another one. This is Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride.
Can't wait.
This, I know Jake Gyllenhaal's gonna be in it because, of course, they're brother and sister. It's gonna be interesting to see what his role's in it. But Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale as the bride and the monster. And we already got the images of what they're going to look like. I'm hoping it's going to be dark and gritty like those images.
I think it's going to be, and I have a lot of faith in Maggie Gyllenhaal. So I'm excited about it. We're getting 2 Frankenstein movies this year because Guillermo del Toro's doing one too. So I think that's pretty cool that they're bringing those characters back. This one stars Daisy Ridley. It's directed by Zach Hilditch. It's called We Bury the Dead. And it's when her husband goes missing in the aftermath of a catastrophic military experiment. Ava joins a body retrieval unit in the hopes of finding him alive, but her search takes a chilling turn when the corpse she's burying start to show signs of life, and it's like a twist on zombie movies. But this has actually premiered at a couple of like Italian film festivals, and it got a significant amount of hype. That it just says that it's fresh, different, and just absolute madness. So like that's something that I really want to see.
Ooh, that sounds really good. Another one that's on my radar, I'm gonna try to go through the first 8 of these. But the premise of the first 8 sounds so good, and that's should be, I think it's the Blackwell Ghost. I think it's part 9. It should be released in this year. No, but I've heard about the premise of them. Like they're like a documentary, like a guy hunting for ghosts, and I love like watching like people like on YouTube and stuff like hunt ghosts and stuff, and I'm just into that. So I can't wait to go through these movies and see this 9th one.
I don't know. I don't know what you're waiting for, Dakota, because they all rip. Every fucking one of them rips. One's like build up, 2 adds to the story, 3 shit gets fucking nuts, 4 it gets even more nuts and is terrifying as fuck. 5 they change the plot a little bit, 6 they change it even more, 7 they go back to the original with a little bit of changes, and then 8 just fucking brings it all together for the build up to 9. Like they're all, I mean, I've watched them and paid for them multiple times. That's how good they are. And you should watch every single one of them. 100%. This one is another one that really could be my number one. Everyone, I'm going to say that about everyone, but like this one holds a special heart because it's made by a very special director. And I know that this director is not going to let me down because this dude does not give a fuck and he's going to make art. And that director is Robbie Banfitch, and Robbie Banfitch directed The Outwaters, which is a movie that everybody hates that I absolutely love. And it's called Tinsman Road. And it's called Pluck the Morsels of Her Maybes, Wrap a Worm Around Her Daisies, Wrought the Knot in Dark Shall Lick Her, Furl Her, Last Uncurling Finger. A young man searches for the body of his sister years after her tragic disappearance. All in for me, because I know it's going to be fucked up, and I can't wait to see it.
That sounds fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I might be on board with though.
Have you seen the Outwaters?
No, that's one I've been wanting to watch. I know there's some fucked up shit in the Outwaters.
Oh no, it's fucked up, Dakota. But it's not only fucked up by what you see, it's just the way that it's shot and the way that it's done. It's just a fucked up movie. I love it so much. It's so good. People
because
are never going to listen to his opinion because he likes the Outwaters.
Because I remember that one being released, and like you saying, like a lot of people didn't like it, but then I'm like, I found you that liked it. I'm like, okay, there might be hope that this movie's actually good.
Colby likes it too.
Okay, I thought Colby liked it.
I think Ian hates it.
I'm gonna go one on my list. I'm just gonna go out there with it. I'm gonna go with Pinocchio and Strung.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
It sounds. The cast is stacked. You got Richard Brake, Robert Englund. Then you just the thing I'm thinking of Pinocchio skinning somebody alive.
Pinocchio is also completely physical, practical effects, done in like a stop motion way. And I think Pinocchio. I am even more excited to see Pinocchio because Peter Pan is good. So, and like Peter Pan is better than Blood and Honey and Blood and Honey 2. Like in the way they go in the dark direction gives me more hope for Bambi and then Pinocchio, because I think we get Bambi and then we get Pinocchio. I think Bambi's the next one that's coming out, which is kind of cool. I'm kind of excited. So this is a big one. This is a real fucking big one. And this could go either way, but the director attached, obviously, it's directed by Gareth Edwards. He did Rogue One, Godzilla, The Creator. He's done Monsters. He's done some big fucking movies, and it's Jurassic World Rebirth. And it's 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion. Covert operation expert Zora Bennett is contracted to lead a skilled team of a top secret mission to secure genetic materials from the world's 3 most massive dinosaurs. When Zora's operation intersects with a civilian family whose boating expedition was capsized, they all find themselves stranded on an island where they come face to face with the sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. But we got Mahershala Ali, Scarlett Johansson. There's a ton of people in here. But the thing that captivated me about this movie, because the last couple Jurassic Parks were terrible, they're going back to the dark roots, rated R. They're making it like a scary fucking horror movie. Sold. Dinosaurs eating people? Yep.
So they're going to do it kind of like how the book was originally intended for?
Yeah, they're going all the way, yes.
Okay. I actually enjoyed that because the main I didn't like. I hate Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. What do you got next?
I'm going to go with one that's releasing in 4 weeks. I am hyped for this movie, and that is Hard Eyes.
Really?
Yes.
I want to see it. I don't know if I'm like crazy hyped about it, but I definitely want to see it because we could really use a Valentine's Day horror movie.
I was already on board, but after watching that second trailer, it looks as like it's going to be brutal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because it could be. Is that Blumhouse?
No, it's the same people who made Thanksgiving.
Did you like Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh, see, I'm less interested in it now because I didn't think. I mean, Thanksgiving's it's fine. I respect people that love it. Like it just didn't. It's okay.
Because I don't want to like spoil it for you, just in case if you go see it. But there is one scene, and I know that this person is going. No, in the Hard Eyes, I know this person's going to die this way, and just seeing what it's going to look like.
Well, how do you know? Because of the trailer?
Yeah, it's in the trailer. And it's like, if they actually do like go all the way with that kill, it's gonna be like really fucked up.
Right, but if it has really fucked up kills and it's not really about nothing, I hope that it has like enough behind it. You know what I mean? Like that's I think the problem with like. I mean, that was like even my problem with Thanksgiving. Like it was cool and fine or whatever. And it had some good kills in it, but like the story to it was just nothing. You know what I mean? Like I need a little bit of something behind it. But I'll tell you one thing: the way that it looks like it's shot in the mask with the red eyes and everything is fucking cool, man. So I think that's pretty cool. That's another good one. Dude, there's so much shit coming out, Dakota. That's like, I mean, tons and tons and tons of shit. And there's like shit coming out that's like, did you watch The Damned yet?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes, I liked it.
Okay, good. The Damned was pretty good. For a January movie, The Damned was pretty good. There's a slasher coming out called Bystanders. And I'm not sure who is putting this one out. I have no idea, but this one also got world premiere hype because it premiered somewhere, and it's Abby and her friends attend a frat party, but it turns into a nightmare when they are drugged and hunted for sport. As Abby escapes, a mysterious couple arrives, and they're ready to turn the tables on their predators. Bunch of people in it unknown. Mary Beth McAndrews is the director. It's her first film. But this one, listen, Revenge, great ratings from the premiere, and the poster rips.
So my next one, I'm just going to get out of the way. We kind of mentioned it already. Thanksgiving 2.
Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah, I kind of want to see what they're going to do with the sequel and see if they can improve it, because I'm really thinking there's 2 killers.
I mean, there might be, and I want to see it. Like, I'll go see it. Like, I've been like, I mean, it's not. It's going to do great. And I hope that they like ramp it up and put a story to it. But I definitely, I'm interested in seeing it. This one I've seen actually, but I want to see it again. And this also is coming from Shudder. Picked it up, and it's called The Dead Thing, and it's directed by Elric Kane, and it's about a young woman lost in a series of meaningless connections that falls in love with a charismatic and sensitive man who hides a dark secret and turns her affair into a dangerous obsession. Listen, this movie is so fucking good. And it's hard to explain what happens without like blowing it, but like here's things it has going for it. The poster is incredible. 2, the trailer tells you absolutely nothing, and it's so haunting and inviting that I would just recommend anybody to just type in The Dead Thing, check it out, watch it, because you're immediately going to be like interested in seeing it. And then 3, I'll back it up that I've seen it, and it was one of the first movies in a long time that I had a screener for, and when I finished watching it, I immediately watched it again because that's how much I loved it. And you know what? Colby had it too because we did the same film festival, and he did the same thing, and he also loved it because this is one of the ones that's like a slept-on banger that's going to shock a lot of people because it's a good-ass movie.
I'm going to stay away from the trailer, even though you said the trailer don't say nothing. It's the poster that gets me. I've seen the poster.
Dude, that teal poster with the lady with her hands, a fucking sick-ass poster.
I don't want to see the trailer. I won't go into it like not seeing anything.
It's so
that
fucking
poster
good.
Is what hooked me. This is one that's releasing in about 3 weeks. I'm mad I saw the trailer this week for it.
Companion.
Because yes, it's Companion.
It's good. I didn't see it, but Gigi and Seth seen it, and they said it's fantastic. And even if you've seen the trailer, to go see it anyway.
Okay. I'm just so hyped for that movie, and it looks like it's going to be it's going to be thrilling.
They said it's very good.
But a little bit brutal, too.
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be just good and fine. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like top 20 end of the year, but it's worth going to see from what I've been told. This is another one that I'm really intrigued by. There's not a ton of information about it, but it's directed by Finn Wolfhard, who was in Ghostbusters Afterlife and obviously from Stranger Things, and it's his first directorial debut. And it's called Hell of a Summer. And it's when 24-year-old Jason Hochberg arrives for counselor weekend at his beloved Camp Pineway. His biggest problem is feeling out of touch with his teenage coworkers. Little does he know, a mass killer has murdered camp owners John and Kathy and is preparing to strike again. So this is obviously a nod to Sleepaway Camp, Friday the 13th and things like that. But I think that kid has something, and they're not going to just make some like dumbass rip-off fucking slasher. Plus, there's like been a couple clips released, and it looks really cool. And the poster also rips.
I've heard about that one.
Bloody ice cream cone.
Another one I'm gonna have. I've heard that you are not excited for this one, but I am.
Wait, you've heard this already?
Yeah, I've heard that you're not excited for this.
I can't wait.
The Black Phone 2.
Not a chance. I won't even pay money to see it.
I'm so excited. It's kind of curiosity for me to see where they're gonna go with this, because the ending, like, spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen them, but I don't know what you guys doing if you haven't seen the Black Phone. He dies. The grabber dies. Is like, and he's supposed to be coming back. I don't know. It's like, are they doing something supernatural? Is there a prequel? I don't have no clue what they're going to go with.
I hope it's a prequel, because I think that's why I don't. Now, listen, I don't hate the Black Phone, but I don't like the Black Phone. And I think it serves better as like a thriller, but it's not a horror movie to me. And that's what did it for me. Like, that's why, like, and listen, here, you want to hear something funny? When I was at Fantastic Fest, I stood at the bar, bought a sugar-free Red Bull, and Scott Derrickson was standing right next to me. And I turned and looked at him, and I was like, holy fuck, it's Scott Derrickson. And he was like, yeah, you know who I am? I was like, yeah, you did the Black Phone. He said, you like it? I said, no, I hate it. And he just like kind of laughed. And he was like, but why? And I was like, we don't know nothing about the grabber. Like I said, like, dude's name is the grabber, but he don't grab nobody. He's not that threatening. He fell asleep at the top of a pair of stairs when his only job is to not let that kid get out. Like, so you're telling me that you're this sleek maniac fucking killer, and you're just going to doze off because you're tired? Dudes that are called the grabber don't get tired. They just kill fucking kids. And I was like, so there's like a good premise. So like, if you take the horror element out of it and just make it like a thriller, it's cool. And listen, it's one of those ones. It's like Hereditary for me. Like, I wish I liked it as much as other people like it. And like, I would love to see this. I probably will go see it because it's going to be a big release. And hopefully, I just hope they ramp up like the terror and like make it scary. Good premise. But I'm really happy that you're excited to see it. There's a lot of people happy. Between night and dawn, strange things happen. A recovering addict who follows a strict daily routine has had his world shaken up after he awakens from a one-night stand covered in blood with no body in sight. Very little information, but poster rips and things that are done about like addiction and traumas and things like that are things that are appealing to me. So that's what makes me interested in it.
You just got me. You just with the title. The title sounds so good. So for me, the next one I'm going to go with is, I'm going to pull one that's on my list, and I'm going to go with Fear Street Prom Night. Is it Prom Night?
Prom Night, and then they're making 3 more that are all drop. Most of them are all supposed to drop this year too, which I'm really excited about because the Fear Street trilogy is really good.
I love the trilogy.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I love the trilogy.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. They're cool movies. They're not too much, not too little. They're just kind of just right. You know what I mean? Feel good horror movies.
Which is your favorite part out of the trilogy?
What was it? I can't think. I like the 80s one and the first one, but the one that was like 1888 or whatever, I didn't like as much out of the 3. But it was still good.
The part, I think that's the third part. I didn't like the third part that much. My favorite one is the second part. when they're at the camp. That one's
Mhm.
my favorite.
Yeah, it was 1994. I loved. And then 1978, I loved. And then the last one was 1666. And it was fine. Like, it was just okay. I just don't think, like, the old timiness, like, really hit me. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad we brought this up because I have been meaning to rewatch the trilogy because I wanted to do it just like for content purposes. So whenever I end up getting off here, I'm going to, I think I'm going to go watch it. So my next one, and this one, the YouTube series done on this is one of my favorite things to ever be fucking created on this earth besides my kids. And it's done by Kane Parsons, and the A24 picked it up, and it's The Backrooms. And I don't know if you've ever watched The Backrooms, but it's one of the most frightening analog horrors that fucking exists, at least to me. But listen, if you don't like Skinamarink, don't even fucking watch it because like it's that experimental, and it's lots of long shots staring at fucking hallways. But 120 million fucking people have viewed those videos. So A24 picked it up and are making a feature length movie. So that has me excited. And I also read an article that they are giving him free, complete creative control to just make his fucking movie. So I'm like, that's fucking rad. For a dude that made some weirdo shit to get blown up like that is fucking crazy cool.
That actually sounds pretty interesting.
You should
my
watch
last
them.
one.
Your watch list is getting longer through this episode, Dakota.
Yeah, it is. So my last one, I'm gonna go with one that's pretty hyped. We haven't mentioned it yet. It's Ryan Coogler's Sinners.
Oh, I want to see Sinners real bad. I love Coogler and I love Michael B. Jordan in a double role.
So I am not going to watch the second trailer for this. I think after watching the companion trailer, I think they're going to do the same thing with Sinners. I am not going to watch it. I think they're going to show the vampire aspect in it. I just want to go into the theater and just like visualize it like for the first time on the big screen.
Shocker to you, I know somebody that's seen it and said it's a fucking banger. So
let's go.
I hope that it is, but they said that they went to a test screening out in LA and said it's a fucking banger. They might change it a little bit from what they've seen in the test screening. I know somebody that's seen that. I know 5 people that's seen The Monkey and said that it was really good, but it's like a comedy, which they didn't expect, but they said a lot of it lands. Companion's good. There's a couple things coming out. So what do we segue? And 2025 is going to be, I think 2025 is going to be significantly better than 2024.
I agree with you on that. So what we're going to segue into is, what are your 2025 content creation goals? Because I know 2024 was a big year for you, Chuck. Like there were so many things. Like you guys made the podcast. You got a really big amount of followers. You went to a film festival. What is some of your goals that you want in 2025?
My goal for what is my goal for 2025? If TikTok doesn't get banned, which I don't think there's a chance in the world that it gets banned, that's just my personal opinion. I'm not going to go into why I believe that. But my goal for 2025 is to hit 1 million followers by January 1st of next year. And my goal is to go to as many film festivals as I can go to, which I'm already booked for South by Southwest, Overlooked, and Fantastic Fest. I'd like to go to Argentina to the Atrium Film Festival. I don't know if I'm going to make it there. But it really all depends on this TikTok thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, like I feel real confident, but I'll feel a lot more fucking confident when I wake up on January 20th and it's delayed or whatever, because I've worked so hard to get to where I'm at, and losing what I got, it's going to hurt. I mean, I'll rebuild somewhere else, but like, I want to quit my job. Like, I don't want to work anymore. Like, I want to just make fucking, I'm going to talk about horror movies for the rest of my life and get paid for it. Like, that's my goal. That's my goals. And that my kids are happy and healthy, obviously, comes way before anything I could do on social media.
So for me, kind of my goals, I'm going to go a little bit low. If TikTok does stick around, I'm going to really try to put in the work for these next 12 months. Because I'm like, as you know, I was like a little bit here and there on TikTok last year and like social media. So I want to go full steam ahead. I want to try at least to get to 10K.
I think you could do that. I think you could do that just by being consistent. I think you could do that just by being consistent and if you not being consistent on a platform like TikTok, like when you post once and take a couple days off or a day off, it kills you. Like every single time you get back on, you're restarting. You know what I mean? Like, and that really hurts you. Like, cause whenever you find a groove, you just got to stick with that groove. Like, it's kind of like how the algorithm works. You know what I mean? So if you just posted one video a day, every single day at the same time, like 5:30 or whatever, you would see a significant difference than taking breaks and things like that to focus.
Another goal is, because I'm on YouTube also, try to get at least to 10K on YouTube.
I would love to see you do that.
But my biggest goal is Fantastic Fest. That is my goal for 2025, to be down in Austin, Texas on September, to not only be there with you guys, but enjoy films, meet new people, make connections.
Fantastic Fest was a life-changing experience that was unbelievable. To experience it, to be there, it's really it was the catalyst to allow me to know that what I'm doing and what I'm onto like is real, because I don't look at my account the way that other people look at my account. Like, it doesn't feel like X amount of followers, or like, I don't feel any of that. Like, I don't feel like people know who I am or anything like that. Like, I don't feel that. But walking around a place with people that I respect, that know who I am, that talk to me and said, hey, I like your channel, or, I had the lady that runs fucking Hulu walk up to me and like, I love your fucking channel. And I'm like, who are you? And she's like, I'm so-and-so from Hulu. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It was wild because it was like reality, but also, like, I walked right up and hugged Mike Flanagan. Like, I literally came around the corner. He was standing in the hallway and I was like, Mike fucking Flanagan, and gave him a hug. And he was the coolest dude ever. And I would suggest for anybody that's involved in, I would suggest anybody that is into content creation or movies to do that. And I think that's something that you should absolutely do, but you're going to have to, and I'm just going to tell you, I'll explain it to you off camera, but I think that it's a very good goal, and I think it's an achievable goal, and I'll tell you how to achieve that goal, like to help you get to that, because it's in September. So there's a lot of things that you have to do up until then. But I think it's a great goal. I think all your goals are great goals, but it's going to take work and consistency.
Okay, I think that is it for the episode. So thank you, Chuck, for being on here.
Listen, it was an absolute honor, and I'll come back anytime you would like to bust it up in bullshit, Dakota.
But guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next week.
Later. Thanks for having me.